In the heart of a lush valley, surrounded by towering mountains, there was a small, tranquil village called Eldermoor. The village had been hidden from the outside world for centuries, known only to its inhabitants and whispered about in ancient tales. Eldermoor was a place where time seemed to slow down, where every sunrise painted the sky with golden hues and the nights were lit by the soft glow of fireflies dancing through the trees. The villagers lived simple lives, tending to their crops, raising animals and gathering herbs from the forest. At the center of the village was a grand oak tree, older than anyone could remember, its roots weaving through the earth like the lifeblood of Eldermoor itself. The villagers believed the tree was magical, protecting the village from harm and blessing their harvests. The village was ruled not by kings or councils, but by a wise old woman named Iva, who lived in a small cottage near the oak tree. Eva was known for her knowledge of the land and her connection to the tree. She would often sit beneath its branches, listening to the whispers of the wind and sharing her wisdom with those who sought it. One day, the peace of Eldermoor was disturbed when a stranger arrived in the village. His name was Callan, a wandering traveler from lands beyond the mountains. He was injured and weak, and the villagers, though wary, took him in and cared for him. Callan spoke of a world outside Eldermoor, where kingdoms were at war and the land was ravaged by chaos. As Callan healed, he told the villagers stories of distant lands and vast cities, of riches and dangers they had never imagined. Many of the younger villagers were intrigued, their hearts stirred with curiosity and a desire for adventure. They began to question the quiet life they had always known, wondering if there was more to the world than the valley they had never left. Iva, sensing the change in the village, gathered everyone beneath the grand oak tree. She spoke of balance, of how the village had thrived for centuries because they had respected the land and each other. She warned that the outside world was not like Eldermoor, that its temptations and dangers could tear apart the peace they had nurtured. A small group of villagers, led by a young man named Finn, decided they wanted to leave and explore the world beyond the mountains. Iva, though saddened, did not forbid them. She knew that everyone had to follow their own path, even if it meant leaving the safety of the village. Before they departed, Iva gave Finn a gift, a small silver pendant shaped like a leaf from the grand oak tree. She told him that as long as he carried it, he would never forget where he came from, and Eldermoor's protection would be with him. And so Finn and the others set out on their journey, leaving behind the quiet life of Eldermoor for the unknown. The village continued its peaceful existence, though the absence of the adventurers left a void. Iva, knowing that the world was changing, sat beneath the grand oak tree once more, whispering to the wind, hoping that the village would remain safe and that those who had left would one day return home. The mountains, silent and ancient, stood as ever, guarding the village that time had forgotten, while the winds carried whispers of the future, of change, of adventure and of home.